In my neighborhood and in my community, they don't really focus on fresh foods. And the only real fresh foods that we have in Providence is on the east side, which is a better side of town than my town. So community gardens are there, but I don't see people taking advantage of the opportunities that they give, or community gardens aren't outreaching enough to the people. So there's kind of a disconnect between the community gardens and the communities of color, and I wanted to know why. Hello, my name is Jaslyn. I attend Mid High School. I intern at Youth in Action, and I go there after school.
Hi, my name is Leslie Bonnell, and I'm the Outreach and Grants Manager at Southside Community Land Trust. The community gardens are all based in South Providence and Olneyville. Our first community garden is Somerset, which is right down the street, and that garden is 30 years old. Originally, why a lot of this was so important was that these areas of Providence were not served with any fresh food or grocery stores.
I am Andrew Coburn. I'm an 11th grade advisor at the med school. I mean, the main thing is you get free food. You know where it came from. You know, you can never fully trust buying stuff in a grocery store, so you know that it's organic or there's no pesticides. You know that it's very fresh, and my experience is because of that freshness, it actually tastes better too. Tomatoes, way better.
My name is Monet. I'm 21. I live in Providence. I'm a student. I think the benefits are numerous. Number one, just being outside. I think it'll get people talking to one another, which has an effect of having a stronger community. You know who's next door. You're supporting one another.
I'm Johanna Walzak. I'm the Community Building Program Manager here at Olneyville Housing. When the gardeners come to work on their plot, they get to see all of the different stuff that other people are growing. It's been really nice seeing those relationships grow.
There are Hmong growers, there's Chinese growers, there's people from the Dominican that are growing in there.
There's the plus of healthy food. You know where your food comes from. It was your hand that created it or helped it to grow.
It also then reflects on the neighborhood that there's a sort of a community respect, that there's this green place that cleans the air, and people are growing food and picking up trash.
The park where the garden is located is right behind the William DeBate Elementary School. The park isn't as well utilized as it used to be. I think having the garden there has just brought more life to the park.
Okay, I think as far as community gardens go on the south side, there's not really a huge culture. As far as it being a trend, I don't see it as much.
The community gardening movement, nationally is often seen as a very white, middle, or upper class activity.
Low-income communities of color view fresh food as expensive. Fresh food is desired, but it's not exactly attainable.
Overall, our culture being very disengaged from where your food comes from. I think it's important that all people have access to fresh, healthy foods.
I'm Johnny Ramos. I go to the Met High School and I work at the the Southside Community Land Trust. My community, the way that they view healthy foods and locally grown food is that they don't really care too much for it because you can go to the supermarket and buy the same stuff and it's just as healthy, but it's not organic and you don't really know where it's coming from. At the Southside Community Land Trust, I work with the PASA group, so I'll teach middle schoolers from, I think it's Roger Williams Middle School, how to garden.
Not only kids, like children, could get outside and have fresh air, but also learn about what's going on in the earth. In middle schools and high schools, the opportunity to have this class about growing food, I think people would eat it up, honestly.
You know, letting young people try some of these foods and maybe handing out recipes to them, or they could see things that they could cook using these vegetable sort of things where they're bringing home cooked food or food from the garden into schools, or having kind of community events where they invite younger people specifically. There's this misconception out there that eating healthy is really expensive.
I think it's important for young people to eat healthy foods when they're young because they'll continue the pattern when they're older. There's a lot of young people who are starting to garden now, especially in City Farm.
I think it could change the culture of food in Providence and food when it comes to youth.
I would like to see sort of more diversity among our students eating.
A lot of the challenges with outreach are more related with outreach to the communities because of language barriers. Aren't just simply, say, Spanish speaking or sort of the major demographics of minorities in Providence. It's very difficult on how to reach them and communicate with them.
There is not a lot of dialogue going on between the gardens and the community, just because the only people that I see going to the farmers markets are people that are in the community of gardening, and just some people who just like to eat green and eco-friendly. A way that local gardening can be a bigger impact is to see more farmers markets just around the state. The way it could change is just a little bit more advertisement, you know, put more posters out there, and we can go out into the community and put out posters if we need to.
I'd like to be able to do some outreach, like even door to door, you know, of making sure that people are aware that it exists and that plots are available. I think that we're getting there with it. I think the best thing that we can do is to make those resources accessible in a culturally accessible way, and have more leadership from communities of color.
Helping people figure out how they can make their backyard a place that's full of life and food. The more important part of the phrase community garden is community. People on the South Side who have these skills, and people on the South Side who want these skills, and people who have not thought about these skills. And we should be connecting and eating better and getting to know each other. And I think that's very possible. It just takes some bravery and some thought.
One thing I would like for people to take out of my piece is that community gardens are important for the community, that they're there for us to use, that they're very beneficial, that we can get a lot of great things from them. I just want more people, especially in my community, to use them more and to have more advertisement around them, and to really make it more important for fresh eating in our communities, because that's one thing that we really need, is fresh, healthy foods accessible to us. Thanks for the support, guys. I really appreciate you watching my vid.